Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 15 Good Minutes. Coach B here with the fellas. JR, how are we today, man?
I'm doing well, man. Just got past this little funky snow we had, but, can't complain. Made it through it. We good.
Freddie, what's up, buddy?
Don't laugh.
Hey, I'm going to laugh because we're going to get the weather report every week. One day you're going to tell me how you actually doing, or you're going to throw us off with something that's just earth-shattering besides the WTOP weather report. But I appreciate you.
Nah, man, I'm got 8 days left. Doing dry January, so I've only had.
Buddy of mine, Steve, is doing that too. He's killing them.
Yeah, I only had 2 drinks, and that's when I went to the Mavs game a couple weeks ago, and then when I went down.
So January ain't dry.
Hey. You cannot expect me to not go to.
He was winning for a minute.
Coming off of what I thought was a really good divisional round, all we're doing today is we're going to break down what I call Championship Sunday. And Freddie and I have talked about this before, JR. This, to me, is the equivalent of the Final Four in the NCAA, where you have 2 games on the same day, back to back. Now, we did get that last week, Saturday and Sunday, but this weekend, it's for a chance to get to the chip, not to win the chip, but to get there. So the significance of the AFC and NFC championship games, respectively, I've always been a big fan of. It's from a football perspective, it's almost like I got 2 Super Bowls in one day. And sometimes those games are
better than Super Bowl,
more competitive. I'm just saying. So I'm gonna start with you, Freddie. In the early game, 3:00 on Sunday, Kansas City goes to Baltimore, right, to face the Ravens. What do you see in that game? And tell me who you think is going to end up coming up victorious.
I'm pulling for Baltimore. I'm pulling for Lamar and all the flag, because I just feel like, the NFL script, if you will. And I don't believe in scripts and, all that stuff, but it's like with the kind of season Kansas City has had, it's almost like they want Kansas City to get there and this and that. That's the way it feels.
Alabama. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. Exactly. It feels like they kind of want Kansas City to get there because they want to promote. I mean, the reality of it is, as dynamic and as great as Lamar is, he's not, the passer that Pat Mahomes is and all that. That's never been who he is, right?
Right.
But to me, it feels like the NFL, they're more comfortable with Pat Mahomes getting there than Lamar. So I'm hoping that Baltimore come out and crush Kansas City and send them back home.
Fair enough. JR, local game for us, right? Maryland's hosting a game. The city of Baltimore is buzzing right now. When you look at those 2 teams in that game, what are you seeing and who comes out on top for you?
I sort of agree with Freddie, because I saw one call I saw last week. Kansas City missed the 4th down, and all of a sudden there's a penalty flag that came from somewhere. I don't know. But I like Baltimore anyway. I'm a Commanders fan, but they're next door. Right. So I see them. I see them playing a good game. I don't think that San Francisco has an answer for Lamar if he starts running. If he ran like he ran
Kansas
last
City.
week. I mean, Kansas City. If he ran like he ran last week, and the help that he had, to make holes for him, they just couldn't. They just couldn't contain him, and he was a big part of them. The big part of the win of that game.
I think both you guys make some good points. No particular order. I think Freddie's point about the spy is going to be true, but if we go back to last week, the halftime adjustment that they made for the spy against him was brilliant. Immediately once they saw it happening in the second quarter, they came out in the third quarter and were dedicating the halfback to taking out said spy should you need it. That's number one. Number two, I think Freddie brings up a good point. Andrews is slated to play. I think it makes him different. One thing that's going to loom here, JR, that I can't quantify is an interview that Lamar did today, basically saying to be the best, you have to beat the best. He doesn't have a ring, Patrick does. And he feels like I gotta go through that. And that's the X factor for me. I think everything you guys said is right. I think Baltimore is the better team, right?
Yeah.
A couple of really good coaches. I think Baltimore at home should win. They're going to have crowds going to be amped up, but things just seem to happen for Kansas City. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse with Buffalo, but they kind of, I don't want to say they gave it to them because then it was going to seem like I'm hating on Kansas City, but Buffalo could have easily got that game. To your point, Gerard, Kansas City's not the same team, but if they get the right breaks, that's a big ass if. If they get the right breaks, they capitalize on those.
Right.
So I'm hoping that Lamar, and we said this last week. What we say? We said Josh can't, he got to stay within himself. Ultimately, he did not. I think Lamar is mentally as sharp as he's ever been with regards to I don't have to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's the same guy. I think Baltimore wins. I think they win by 10 points. San Francisco is hosting the Detroit Lions. What do you see there?
I know everybody's probably favoring San Francisco, but I don't know. Purdy didn't show me a lot last week. I mean, he was off, overthrown, underthrowing. I just don't see them going in unless they did something this week. Debo plays a big part in what they I think is going to actually happen with them this week, if he's playing or not playing. I've been liking the Lions for the last 6-7 games they played. I thought that they really are coming into their own, and I think that San Francisco is going to have to take a backseat to the Lions this week. I think the Lions
give me a number.
I think that the Lions will beat them probably about 13, 14 points.
One, I don't know if Debo's playing. Two, he says he is. I read the medical reports. That shoulder doesn't look good to me. Knowing that and his role in taking a lot of the pressure, in my opinion, off of McCaffrey, what do you see with this game and who wins it?
Well, considering this is for a chance to get to the game and it's not a fracture or anything, I think Debo will play. I think he will play. I think he will serve more as a decoy than anything. Detroit is going to be playing a different defense and actually an overall better defense. Now, the area that I would be most concerned with San Francisco defensively is their secondary. Their secondary is susceptible to getting beat big, and you have to take St. Brown away. But I'm pulling. I think San Francisco wins. I'm thinking 28-17.
Does anybody give a better halftime interview than Campbell? When you ask him a question, you start leaning up in your chair and he'll be like, "Come on, coach, let's go get it, man." And I feel that vibe. I hear the script, Freddie, but I don't buy into it. I think this is their year. And I was telling JR before we came on air, I just wasn't impressed with San Francisco, man. I thought they should have won bigger than they did. And it could have just been an off week. And we talked about this a week ago too. A win is a win is a win, no matter how you get there. They get a different opportunity this week, and I give them that. As good as Shanny is as a caller, I think that secondary is suspect. And I think the young fellow that Freddie mentioned, St. Brown, has a career day. And for me, for Detroit to get their right word, JR, to get their not recognition, maybe to be accepted, winning on the road against a team like Freddie said that's been there, 4 out of the last 5 or 6 years. I think that's the way to get it. Kind of similar to what we said about Lamar when he said he had to go through Kansas City. I like the way Detroit's playing right now. I think they're playing with house money. I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco wins, but I'm picking Detroit, and I'm picking them to win on the road in San Francisco.
Hey, on that Debo being a decoy, I mean, he's still going to get blocked off the line.
Well, and here's the other thing too, JR. And my thought to that was if I'm a defensive coordinator, I know the difference between a decoy and somebody that's a threat.
Yeah.
And you trying to hard that shit. I'm going to go hit him hard sometime in the first quarter. And I got my entire sideline watching what he do. And after that, I'm coming after everybody else. I don't think he can be a decoy, JR, for 4 quarters if he's hurt. Now, if he takes a shot and he's getting some rehab, like Freddie's talking about, if he can be a threat, that's a game changer for the Niners, no doubt.
Because think about it. You're taking the possibility of another player being able to step up.
No, I think Freddie, here's the thing. If it were me, and it isn't, obviously, because I'm here talking to you fine gentlemen, but if I were there and I was on that staff, Jennings would be getting all this burn. I would be putting him on Front Street. I like him. He can catch the ball. He's a legitimate, you have to guard him. To your point, JR, I think if Debo's there and he's not, I might be able to cheat off of Debo a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't cheating off of Jennings because if you throw it in his zip code, he's going to catch it. I think both will score. But I think Detroit comes away at the end, and it's going to be fascinating to, see what happens. We look forward to that. Hope you guys do too. Before we get out, let me see if the guys got anything to say. I'm gonna start with you, JR. You got anything to say today?
Nah, I'm good today, man. I'm good.
Yeah, I was good. Freddie, you got anything to say, buddy?
I saw some people talking about the Lakers. They're expecting too much out of LeBron James, and it blew my mind. There is no such thing as saying we're asking too much of him, because guess what? In order to get, they just don't give $49 million salaries to just Joe Blow Smuckatelli. They don't do that, because that check, when they cut that check, LeBron ain't giving no refunds, and I can't blame him. So
I know I wouldn't. I think he had something to say, JR. I think LeBron's got to go play for that money.
Yeah.
I got something to say. NBA as well. Today, Grant Hill did a really good thing, I thought, when he said he is not putting Draymond Green on Team USA, and he said the reason why is because of the suspensions. I think that he didn't sugarcoat it. All these other things that they say Draymond is. The fact that that they're not going to have him on Team USA for that reason. I applaud that. I think that's a good thing. Also in the NBA, just a random thought. I don't know what the hell Milwaukee's doing. I did not see the firing coming of the coach. Doc Rivers is in. I don't know what's going on there. But again, totally caught by surprise. And then lastly, I'll say, not NBA related. Congratulations to Jim Harbaugh on his new contract with the San Diego. I keep saying San Diego, with the Los Angeles Chargers. That deal was just inked a little while ago. So, again, that's all we got time for this week. We hope that you guys really enjoy this championship Sunday. Get there early, get your popcorn ready, watch a couple of good games. Come back with us next week, and we'll see, whether it was, JR, Freddie, or some combination of the three of us, and then we'll get you ready. We got 2 weeks to get you ready for the Super Bowl. Until then, have a great week and a great weekend.